Karen, Ruth, and I am here to welcome you home. This is the Exposed Podcast. Where we reveal the body-based ways to ease anxiety, heal trauma, and create an empowered connection with love and money using nervous system regulation and a healthy dose of self-compassion.
Today's podcast is inspired by one specific pattern that I have seen hundreds and thousands of times, both in myself, in people I know, in people that I've found and witnessed on the internet, and also my clients. And for the sake of simplicity, instead of telling you, 58 different stories, I'm going to be telling you one story that really wraps up the essence of this specific pattern. And I'm going to be breaking down what's going on when this happens and what to do to make sure that it stops happening. And the specific pattern, the specific story that I'm talking about is not being able to hold the success, the desires, and the goals that you say that you want. This is something that happens when people either set out on a course towards a specific goal, or they find themselves in success and they set another goal, they have another desire, they say that they want something, and yet they, for lack of a better word, self-sabotage and are unable to get there. Thinking about, a vision, an individual, I'm going to call her Martha. And Martha finds herself in a job or running a business or finally being able to serve the people that she really, really loves serving. And things are going pretty well. She's working hard. She's been studying. She's gotten her certification. She's had a few clients. Like, things are getting to feel really stable. And things are going well. She's able to look back and say, yeah, I achieved the majority of my goals this year. Things actually went better than what I thought. I can't believe that I was able to do this. Oh my gosh, does it get to be this easy? Oh my gosh, isn't this so fun? And so while all of this is happening and things are going so well, something begins to change. All of a sudden, she's not as inspired. She's feeling kind of flat. She's kind of procrastinating her work. It doesn't feel like it challenges her enough. It doesn't feel fun enough. It doesn't just give her that like tingle inside of like, yes, this is it. So she starts sitting down to work a little bit later. She's less as interested. She shows up a little bit less. She begins looking for answers in other places. She thinks she has to learn a new skill. She signs up for another course. It's a mentorship. She switches to a different coach. She decides that she needs to do a new certification. She dedicates more time to studying some new methodology. She decides that even though she said that she was gonna launch a group program, she decides, I am going to do that, but I'm also going to go traveling because I can. She sees this new program that promises that you can do everything with so much ease and pleasure and just like orgasms and ads or something like that. And so she does that. She joins the program that promises is this crazy new thing. and she spends her money on ads, or she spends her money on a really expensive photo shoot or a website design. She pivots everything. She starts firing her workers, her contractors, her employees. She starts maybe firing her clients, even though everything was going pretty well. She starts entering into this energy of like, something needs to change, something has to pivot for me to get to my next goal. But this energy almost has a bit of a knife edge of like burning it all down. And that's just one way it shows up. Maybe it shows up in that everything is going really, really well at work. Her savings account is growing, even though inflation is rising. It's easier at work. She feels there's less anxiety in her chest when she sits down for her big tasks. But every single night, she's fighting with her partner. Things are annoying her. She's trying to control him. He's all of a sudden not masculine enough. He's all of a sudden not good enough. It's just he's not XYZ enough. Or maybe all of that is going so well, but every morning she wakes up with anxiety in her chest. There's this beating in her heart and this energy running through her limbs that just feels off and like something is about to go wrong. And perhaps, even though everything is going so well, she snowballs into getting sick. She loses her voice. She gets a cold. She gets the flu. She breaks a bone. Now, I'm not saying that every single time something like this happens, it is because of an upper limit problem, but I am saying right now that this happens very, very often I'm going to go ahead and say it happens to every single person to different degrees in different ways. And it is an upper limit nervous system problem. It is a sign that you are not in contact with your somatic intelligence. And it is a sign that your nervous system is perceiving that there is an expansion and a goal and a reality that it thinks is unsafe. Now, you and I know that if you were to make $5,000 extra this month, $500 extra this month, it would not be unsafe. You can build it up to 10, you can build it up to 20. We know that if you were to add to your income this month, it would not be unsafe. Consciously, we know that. But you might find yourself procrastinating, flitting around, unconsciously like burning money and resources on fire, trying to start everything from anew. You might find yourself fighting with your partner, your mom, your siblings, having all these problems with your car, with your cell phone. God, it just sounds so American. Oh my God, I've been spending so much time with Americans. With your mobile, getting sick, feeling unmotivated. These are all signs that what's happening is your body thinks that the goal that you have set and the place that you are working towards and you are so close to reaching is unsafe, and it is trying to put a brake on. And the fact that it's doing that means that it is a sign that you are not in contact with somatic intelligence. So let me take a moment to actually break this down. There are two things here that I'm talking about. Number one is the upper limit, and the other is somatic intelligence. So let's have a look. What is the upper limit? I want you to imagine for a second, close your eyes, and imagine that you are driving down the highway towards your dream destination. It is the Disneyland of your life. The goal that you've been working towards for the past 5 years, the thing that you will put on your vision board, you're thinking about it in the morning when people ask, well, what are your plans for the next few years? Or what are you going to do? This is the goal. And you kind of assumed that you would get there, let's say, going 60 kilometers an hour. You just were like, okay, that feels like the correct speed. That's the speed that I think I'm going to get there at. That makes sense. Okay, cool. We're going to cruise along at 60 kilometers an hour, and you're cruising along, feeling good about your process, seeing progress. And then suddenly you hit this barrier, and it suddenly feels like you're in the wrong gear. The car is heavier, and it starts kind of chugging along, pushing past, and it feels like you just can't really accelerate upon this point, even though you know that your vehicle can go faster and it can go further. And so you're coming up against this barrier, and the car is really trying. Your vehicle is really, really trying, but it starts malfunctioning. It's running hot. You can see the temperature is rising. Now there's a problem with the steering wheel. It's like jammed, and you're getting annoyed. So you start yelling at the passenger next to you who's like, oh, just try this. You guys start fighting. And all of a sudden, now we went from having one problem to having 3 problems on top of the original problem. The original problem being that you hit this upper limit, and then inside of the vehicle, 3 problems appeared. It's running hot. There's a problem with the wheel, and now you're fighting with your passenger. And these 3 problems that are happening inside of your vehicle are distracting you from getting to that destination that you set out for. While you're in this vehicle, your energy is probably going to go towards fixing these 3 problems. Maybe it won't. Maybe you want to avoid them instead. But no matter what, it gets very easy to enter when we have this many problems and it feels like we're working towards something and everything keeps going wrong and you just don't really know why. It can very easily become a bit of a woe is me situation. Things pile up and it begins to feel like you are swimming upstream. Like, tell me if you have felt this way before. I want to hear you like, yes, I felt this way before, because I have felt this way before so often. But reality is this is your vehicle, your body's upper limit. AKA, it has arrived at the maximum capacity of what it feels safe to achieve, to receive, and to serve, and to hold. Your vehicle, your car, has arrived at its upper limit, and now there are all these problems that it wants you to address because it feels that it cannot go past this barrier that's in front. Just like a speeding limit, your upper limit can hold you back from reaching that Disneyland destination, from reaching your desires of love, money, happiness, impact, and health. And there are a couple of things that I like to keep in mind that tell me that I'm experiencing some type of upper limit. There are so many, and your individual, what it looks like for you individually it's going to be different. But here are a couple that I see very, very commonly in my line of work. Number 1, you're at an income cap and you can't seem to kind of bust through it, no matter how many times you tweak your sales or your content process, or you redefine who you're serving, or you learn about your human design, or you learn about, like, you do another certification. It just feels like you can't quite reach past it. Number 2, your calendar is more full than it was this time last year. You're working really hard and smart, but your bank account has remained the same. Number 3, you start each month with the motivation to, let's say double your income, but somewhere along, let's say day 14, you fall off your plan. The numbers don't look like they're going to make it, and you stop caring. And number 4 is, no matter how well things are going, you feel the need to change things, to pivot, either in your work or in your personal life. This might look like suddenly feeling like you need to get a divorce, or you need to go traveling, or you haven't found your purpose and you need to go and find it. The thing is, most people try and fix the problem. They try to fix how hot the car is, the traveling questions, the plan. They try to fix the bank account. They try to fix the content, the relationship communication. And I'm not saying that we don't need to fix these things. I'm not saying that there aren't helpful things to learn around it. There are. There absolutely are. But an upper limit problem is not solved with external factors. It is solved within. The solution doesn't lie in changing a strategy, hiring a team member, perfecting your productivity, your organization, your communication, your state of the union meeting with your partner, your summer plans. The solution lies within the body. More specifically, in your capacity to hold responsibility, impact, energy, power, and safety. I want you to keep that in mind. And I want you to keep in mind that this entire process happens because we have something that I like to call somatic intelligence. The word somatic has so many roots, but I'm going to reference the Greek root for a moment. Soma. It means living body. And in somatic therapy, type of therapy that I'm trained in, the physical body is seen as the physical body, and the philosophy of somatic therapy really pulls from this Greek definition of soma. And the physical body is seen as this valuable guide. The nervous system is seen as a valuable guide, the tissues, the bones. It is seen as an ally on the road to mental health, wellness, freedom, safety, fulfillment. And our goal as the drivers of this wonderful, intelligent vehicle of the body is to learn to listen to it, learn from it, and then follow what it tells us. It is this energy that is running through your veins. It is accessing the subconscious. It has access to intelligence that our conscious mind and the part of us that uses words and language just cannot. It controls the autonomic nervous system. And depending on your beliefs, it also has a direct access to spirit, God, the universe, higher self. Use the word that feels correct for you. And when we're building a body-based life or a body-based business, what we're doing is we're pulling on this somatic intelligence, and we are essentially kind of surrendering to it and learning from it and saying, I trust you. I trust myself, and I will pull on this intelligence, and I will learn its language. And through a deep understanding of its language, I will pull on the intelligence that it gives me, and I will allow that to take me to my goals. Part of learning the language of somatic intelligence is learning the language of the upper limit, and then sourcing inside and learning to discern, differentiate, understand what does your body need to work through that specific barrier. There are tools that I will share with you and that I will teach you and that I teach all of my clients about how to actually gain access to that information. But it's going to be highly individual because your intelligence, your lifestyle, your goals, where you thrive is highly individual. Your capacity is highly individual. And so what we can see is that prior to learning this language and deciphering your upper limit strategy, your upper limit blueprint, your breakthrough upper limit blueprint, whatever we can call that, life is going to look like that chaotic energy, that distracted energy, that feeling stuck energy, that I'm not really sure what needs to change energy, that I'm burnt out, I feel like I'm running my wheels energy. And afterwards, it's going to look a little bit like this. Number one, you will notice distracting thoughts, feelings, and sensations in the moment. And instead of going down the path they want to pull you down, aka letting them steer you into distraction and standstill, you will see it as a sign that you are moving closer towards your goal. You'll refocus, you'll recalibrate, and you will emerge past that invisible barrier between you and your destination. Number two, your income will steadily increase and expand, but you're going to be so much less worried about it and more enamored by your garden plants and your great friendships and your deepening sense of peace that you wake up with. You will know exactly what activities are essential to get you towards your goals and what activities can be replaced with Netflix and hiking and pottery class. And motivation and inspiration will become much easier to access more consistently, meaning that you get to skip feeling frustrated that you didn't reach your goals and just trust the process of arriving to motivation and inspiration. And as a result, you will access deep clarity about the things that are necessary to pursue, to achieve, or to fight for in life, in love and relationships, in your finances, and what things are just draining your energy. It is important to note that moving to this place does not come from just working on limiting beliefs or affirmations or visualizations or talking about it or learning about it. The reason of this being that there is often an incongruence between what your mind tells you that you want, like let's just say you want the 6-figure business, the perfect marriage, what your mind is telling you that you want and what your body wants. So your mind might say, oh, I really want 20K months. And your body might say, well, I actually never want to be responsible for other people. And so the only way that we get to see the results is to understand the needs of the body, what the body is desiring, what the body thinks not being responsible for other people will meet that need, and make this body feel safe as you walk towards your goals. Tangibly, that looks like kind of meeting the need that it thinks that it's going to get by not being responsible for other people, and then make the body feel safe to take on responsibility to walk towards your goals. To help you work past your upper limit and to get in contact with the somatic intelligence that will allow you to bring more ease into your life and achieve the goals that you desire using the intelligence of your body without trying to control everything, without going into burnout, without feeling like you don't know what to do. I invite you to book your free 30-minute expansion call where you and I are going to create a 4-month action plan on the exact things that you need to do to get there. I have been really, really enjoying these calls, and every single time that we come out of them, I get like a message the next day from the individual who's like, oh my God, I tried this thing and it worked. And I'm like, well, yeah, like obviously. It's really, really fun. So I'd love to invite you to book one. On that call, if it feels like a good fit for us both, we will also explore whether or not working through my ease framework inside of body-based business is going to be a good fit for you and is going to support you. I will make sure that you have the link below, but you can also access it at www.sheridanruth.com/expansion. And if you have listened to all of this and you're like, yes, but you're not building a business, you're not an entrepreneur, and you are interested in trauma healing, nervous system regulation, the upper limit, and somatic intelligence in your own life, or anxiety support in love or money, still go to that same link and book an expansion call, and I will support you in creating your own 4-month healing plan for creating a more easeful life. Can't wait to see you there. Sending you lots of love, and I will speak to you on Zoom.
A big and special thanks to Upturned for composing this magical piece of music, and to GS Studios for mixing it. To find Upturned's other tracks or ask for your own special custom piece of music, go say hello using their contact details in the show notes.